y'all doing? My name's Bubba, and I'm hosting Rockford Ordnance this week. We got something we wanted to show y'all. These guns, they're cheap. Let me get rid of this. A little something else I found. Works good. Getting them zombies. We got a rifle that, unfortunately, like most of these, male serps, they come with these wood stocks. Well, wood just don't hold up these days. They don't make it like they used to. And got them low capacity magazines. Well, we took a gun that was basically junk and we made us a real rifle. Yep, she got high capacity mags. I don't know how they come out of here, but they come out somehow. I think it's made by Tapco. I don't know, can't get it out of there. But kind of nice. Got your M16 stock there and a saw grip. Got your grenade launcher. And we got us a pig sticker. So we're going to show you this rifle this week and show you what a real man can do with a rifle. Well guys, yeah, I am thoroughly embarrassed to say that at one point I was Bubba. It's a disease. We may all run across it at some point, but yeah, I was Bubba. I took a completely perfect, nice Yugo SKS and turned it into this mess. Now, I will say that at the time I was fully convinced this thing was, this was the way to go. Wanted something tactical, you know what I mean? And this is what ended up. All in all, I can't say it's a terrible setup, although on the Yugo with the grenade launcher and all, it just makes it extremely long. I mean, way long. Look at this thing. And the only good thing I like about it is being able to use these mags. These Tapco mags actually work great, and they give you a little more capacity, obviously. But what we're going to do here is get rid of all this Tapco stuff and convert it back. Now, fortunately, no SKSs were harmed in the making of this Bubba Fire here. This Bubba Fire zombie killer. Nothing was drilled on or anything like that. It all kind of went in normally. I did have an issue with the gas block, not gas block, the piston. I reused the original piston, and rather than destroy the original wood handguard, I got an entirely new Tapco upper cover with the gas tube attached already, so I wouldn't have to mess up the original wood one. However, when I got this all together and went to run it, it wouldn't cycle. It was leaking too much gas by, and it's either the stock piston, the specs were off and it was letting too much gas flow by it, or perhaps I fitted it wrong back here because you had to file some of it off and it was a little bit loose. So I did take the original gas tube, take off the wood, and put this on. In the process of that, I kind of messed up the metal here. There's a rivet that holds the end cap on the retainer for the handguard, upper handguard. So we're going to have to deal with that, re-rivet it, something. Maybe I can peen the original rivet back over, whatever. But yeah, that was a little boogered up. But other than that, it should go back together just fine. We have already refinished the stock. We didn't really have to do much. It was in great shape. It was just cosmolined up. We cleaned it of the cosmoline and put some nice boiled linseed oil on it, and it came out really nice. Couple little dings, but hey, it's a milsurp and it came out great. Here's the upper handguard for it, and here is the original magazine. So We're gonna get started putting this thing back to stock, how it should look, and make it a lot classier. What do you think? Let's go. So guys, we got our Yugo SKS chalked up here in the gun vise. This particular vise isn't really made for holding rifles of this type, but it'll do. It's in there fairly good. It's been quite a few years, I'm gonna say 12, 13, 14 years since I Bubbafied this thing. So I don't know if I remember quite how it all went on, but we will start taking it apart here. Really, I took the mag out, took the sling off. Really what we got to do here is slide the little clip up here, just like you do on AK basically. When you do though, you don't want to go all the way up because there's a spring and a piston in here that will go flying. So just work it up a little bit until you can pull the gas tube off like that. Inside the gas tube is the piston, and this was actually what we had problems with getting it to cycle. I had originally bought the Tapco tube with the handguard already put on it because I didn't want to mess with taking the wood off of here. Unlike an AK, you can't just twist the handguard to get it off. This handguard retainer has a pin going through it, and then they grind off the sides to make it flush. So it's really hard to see that pin and to drive it out. And I couldn't get it driven out if I remember right, and it kind of is just loose on there. Got to drive another pin out, one of the Tapco pins, to get the gas tube out of there. So we'll deal with that when we're putting it back together. But yeah, so that comes off, and then you got to make sure you hold in here, flip that up the rest of the way, and out comes the actuator or piston, I don't know what they call it. The other piston pushes on this, that's what cycles the bullet. And your spring, braided spring, these things are bulletproof. They're just built like brick shit houses. Anyhow, that gets rid of that. To go further here, take it out of here for a second, and we're gonna take our cleaning rod out. Let's see, here we go. Take the cleaning rod out of there, set that aside. There's a little button on these that you push to release the trigger group. And with this grip on here, I can't see it, so we're gonna have to pull the grip off next. All right, we got the right nut driver, yes. Boy, that sucker's on there. Must have made sure that it wasn't going to come off, huh? All right, there we go. Grip comes off, and yep, there's that little button we got to push. Okay, so we've got the gas tube and upper handguard off, along with the piston and the actuator rod and piston. We're going to take the top of this off. That's real simple. You just pull this lever up, keep a little pressure forward on this rear cover. If it was cocked, there'd be a lot of pressure on there, but it isn't in this case. You move it up, keep pressure on, slide it out. There's the top cover, spring and spring rod. Slide the carrier off, pop the bolt out, and we are good. Last thing to do, we'll flip this sucker over. And this takes some strength, guys, let me tell you. This thing is in there, usually. Let's see, you gotta push forward on this little tab right here. It's a little tab, you push forward on it and pop the whole retainer out. But you really gotta push. And make sure your safety's on too. It gives you a little, clears a little more room in there for you. Let's see if I can't use my, let's see here. There we go. All right. And there is your trigger group. Pretty clean. Thing looks brand new. If you can look at the parkerizing on this, it's just amazing how clean and nice. There's still some cosmoline in there. We're going to clean that up. Let's see. We should be able to pop this thing out of the stock. First we have to deploy the bayonet. And there we go. The Bubba stock is gone. Here is our barreled action. And it's really ready to go back together. It's pretty darn clean in here, guys. I did a better job than I thought, but look at what nice condition. No rust, no scratches. Everything looks fabulous. Let's grab our stock here and we will put it into the action carefully here. And see what's holding it up here. Let's see. There we go. Everything's in. Now to hold it in temporarily, we'll put our bayonet back down. So guys, to get this gas tube or get this polymer upper handguard off of this gas tube, we gotta knock out these roll pins here. So we'll get that out of the way real quick here. Slide them out of the way. Almost there. And knock this one out. And then we'll just pry that carefully off and slide it out. So there we've carefully pried off the end cap, the retainer, and we can pull the original gas tube out of the Bubbified upper handguard. Then we are just going to reassemble everything. So now we will put our original wood upper handguard on, which will look a ton better. We gotta make sure we've got it going the right way here too. Slide that into the front. It's nice and tight. And we need the retainer here. That pin is in there. It's ground flush. There's just enough of an ear left on it for this thing to grab. So we're going to be very careful and then put it back on there, and then I'll peen the ends over, and we should be good to go. Nothing ruined. So there we go, guys. There is our original gas tube with the upper handguard all put back together. Everything's nice and tight, and we're ready to put this gun back together. Awesome. Worked out great. This was the one part I was worried about. Action. Now we can flip it over, and we will put our trigger group back in. See if we can't muscle this sucker in there. You'll hear it pop when it goes. There we go. So, whoops. There we go. Not bad, looking good. Okay guys, so here's our bolt carrier and our bolt. You'll see like a notch here and a notch here. They just kind of go together like that. Drop in. like so, and slide them forward. Put our recoil spring back in, put our top cover on, just hold pressure forward with your thumb, push in, slide it back. There we go. All we got left to do is put the gas system back together. Okay, let's see if we can't put this actuator pin and spring back in. If you remember, guys, this captures it. So you need to have it all the way up like that and push it in, and then to capture it, put it down. All right, now that that's in, we can take our gas piston, put it into our gas tube, and we will pop this up a little. Again, remember, you can't go too far or you'll release that inner one. Let's slide this sucker back in. And there we go. So guys, what do you think? All we got left to do is put our magazine back in. And that's a fairly easy operation. Okay, so we flipped it over, and now we've got to put our magazine in. That's got to catch up in the front here, like so. And it's got to go down in. Make sure it's flush in there. And then we can put our trigger group in. Like so. And let me grab it here, give it a good squeeze. If I can. Boy, oh boy. These things are tight. There we go. So, mag is in. Everything is back together. There we go, guys. So, from that to this, all good. Nothing, nothing destroyed, nothing ruined. Wood is good. Got the bolt hole open. So if you want to do any functions testing, just drop the mag down and then you don't have to deal with that. So let's check our trigger function. Hold it back. Reset. Boom. Not much of a tactile reset. Hardly at all. And let's make sure our safety is working. Yes, it is. Good to go. Pop the mag back in. Bayonet works. Everything is good to go. Ah, that makes me happy. How much more handsome is that, guys? Very, very handsome. We are going to be taking this out to the range, shooting it, having a whole bunch of fun, and it's fun. With these big, heavy bolts and carriers, when you're shooting these things, it's unlike an AK. It's very mechanical. You know, it's like click, boom, ka-chung, ka-chung, you know, you feel the whole action. It's a bit slower and just feels good. It's a really, really nice weapon. If you don't have one, grab one. They're not getting any cheaper, guys. They just keep going up. I wish I could conjure up a bunch at $199. What do you think? $199, right? And back in the day, the Russians and the Chinese were that cheaper too. I think 99 bucks. I think my dad paid 99 bucks for his. Hey, can't beat it. It's a super nice rifle. We didn't go over the grenade launching capabilities, but there's a little button here. You switch the switch, put up the grenade sight, put a grenade over it, blank firing adapter, and boom, you can shoot them. They make kits for it. You can do it, shoot some in the backyard. It's kind of fun. We'll put our sling back on, and she is good to go. So, hope you like it. We will see you soon. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Click that little bell down there too, and you'll get a notification for the video when we take it out to the range. Don't forget our Patreon page, Rockford Ordnance. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.